Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
This is
Sorry about that. Testing, testing. Cool, it works. We are set. Hello? Hello, Reaper. Hello, SGD. Nice of you to make it. I was actually going to click on the live chat and type my response. I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Just going to go ahead and give it another 8 minutes or so. Let people go ahead and file in. People seem to show up once they see that red dot going. I don't want anybody to show up 5-10 minutes into the story. So just going to give it a few more minutes and we will kick it off officially. How's everybody doing tonight? Happy Friday. Hey, Dale. Welcome. How you doing? Happy Friday, my friend. Hello, Mandy. Welcome. Hello. Happy Friday. I am doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. Yeah, I know Gothic stream is still going. I let her know that I was going to have to bounce out a little bit early tonight because I had to go ahead and set this up a little bit early because the original Jaws is playing at the drive-in and not missing it. So we just had to push everything up a little bit. That's all. Premiering tomorrow, not streaming, but the premiere is tomorrow. Yes. Hey, CCG, what's going on? Kim, welcome. Cool. So I guess you'll be lurking while at work. I'm happy to help you get through your work evening, as it were. Oh, no sorries, but yeah, the premiere is still tomorrow. Live stream tonight, and yeah, you just get a little bit of extra content at the end of every month. Don't know how many of you. I know some of you. I don't know how many of you have seen the coming soon 12-second video that I published yesterday. Just want to go ahead and throw it out there. I am going to be doing a 13 days of Halloween this year. I didn't do one last year because I said I only am reading original stories because I'm very gun shy, because that's how my last channel got taken down, is I read someone else's story and they didn't appreciate it. And I already explained all of that, but I said I couldn't do one because it just didn't have that many stories that, obviously weren't like 15 minutes to, half an hour long. And I just can't do 13 of those in a row. It's too much on me. But this year I have decided to go ahead and write like at least a good 11 short stories. But I am having other people write me some as well. My wife has gone ahead and chipped in. And so we're going to make it happen. 13 Days of Halloween is on this year. So starting October 19th, just like all the years before. I am pretty darn stoked myself. Love the Locust Lake series, really do. You didn't have to retract that. That was a good statement. I was all about that comment. Love the Locust Lake series. I'm glad you are hooked. Um, I did go through and did quite a bit of editing on that book. Took me about a month to go ahead and go through it and edit. And obviously, then there's the 13th story, the exclusive that's written by both Doughboy and I. So I'm very, very happy that you enjoy the book. Hey, Gothic, what's going on? See, we haven't even started yet. We still got 4 minutes to go. I just wanted to go ahead and get set up. Let everybody file in a few minutes early. That way, people weren't filing in 5 minutes or so into the story. There we go. I started reading the Locust Lake book, and I am hooked. I knew what you were trying to get at, CCG, and again, I very, very much appreciate it. I'm really glad that you like the book. Very, very, very happy that you like the book. And yeah, if you like the books that I've got published, I have 3 of them out there now, and I do have a surprise coming right at the end of September for all of you, right before October. So expect an announcement on that relatively soon. I was not born when the original Jaws came out. But it was one of the first horror movies I saw. I saw it when I was like 4. It was actually the second horror movie I'd ever seen. First one was American Werewolf in London. I think I've told you guys that before. Not sure though, but yep, that was the first. Jaws is the second. Gremlins, I think, was my third. But I don't know if that's horror. I think it is. I would consider Gremlins horror. Like fantasy horror. I think that's a good, because there's sci-fi horror and horror-comedy. I think Gremlins fits into the fantasy horror realm. Yeah, it's a horror comedy, but it deals with more mystical aspects than most horror-comedies do, and takes itself more seriously than a comedy should. That's why I would go ahead and throw it into the horror fantasy realm, and there's not many of those. The Troll movies might loosely fit into them. Hello, Devane. I'm sorry if I missed you. I think I did miss you, but hello. I'm glad that you were able to make it here as well. Yes, Trolls is creepy. Trolls 2 is one of the worst movies, scary movies I've seen. I have seen worse, but it's one of the worst, but I love it. I love Trolls and Trolls 2. I love them both. Hey, BA, what's going on, man? Hey. Sorry, I had to do my really bad Fat Albert impression. This is my fat sociopathic impression. Oh, well, it looks like the green light on the camera is illuminating very, very slightly inside the drawer. That's where my camera is sitting right now. Is inside my desk drawer. I am doing well, man. How are you? I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, I would not want to fall into the mouth of a great white. That does not sound like a good time. Hey, Princess, what's going on? Glad you could make it. Welcome. We have not started yet. You made it just in time. I think we're down to seconds though here. Yeah, there we go. It's 8:30. Right on the nose. So I guess we'll go ahead and we'll officially kick this off. I do want to get this going. So I want to try and obviously be out of here in an hour, but if I can get out of here in like say 45 minutes, please don't hold it against me. Really want to make sure I catch Jaws. So hey, ISP, yes, and Boggs, both of you made it just in time. Welcome to the live stream of Button Eyes, based off of SCP-190. Way back when, somebody said that I should write a story based on SCPs, and I went through quite a few of them. A lot of them do not lend well to creating a story, at least not for me, not my mind. So, but this one did. This one just kind of caught my attention when I read it, and I kind of wrote a story after it. So, yeah, this one is a little bit longer. than the ones I typically live read, so which means I probably will mess up more often than usual. So just want everybody to go ahead and be prepared for that. But also keep in mind that once this is done, I will download this over the weekend and try and get it whipped up into a miscellaneous video and put back out with music and sound effects and all the bells and whistles from all the other videos. So, but yeah, really, really glad that everybody was here to make it. Did not think this many people would show up so early, which is really awesome. But like everybody knows, I do get a little bit nervous on live streams. So just give me a minute to hit my vape. I'll go ahead and keep saying hello to anybody else that goes ahead and files in like Beautiful Nightmare. Very welcome. I'm very glad that you were able to make it tonight. Very, very happy. So nice to see you. But yeah, let me hit my vape a few times and we'll go ahead and we will jump into Button Eyes. Oh, Boggs, I had a feeling something like that was coming. you're like the comic relief of the live chat. In a good way. Exactly. See, Nightmare's got it. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to get started on this. Like I said, it's a little bit longer. But yeah. So this one is called Button Eyes. All right. This shit all started when we moved into our new home. My wife and I had always dreamed of having a big family. Lots of kids, nice home, dog in the backyard. Although our little family was still small, it was growing. We were already the proud parents of 2 children, a daughter and a son. Raising kids can be a little hectic at times, to say the least, but despite the energy, we both still wanted to have a couple more. 4 or 5 seemed to be about right for the both of us. Well, Adam was getting bigger, and little Jenna, with her long brown curly locks and bright blue eyes, had been bebopping all over the place for well over 2 years now. The kids were getting bigger, and we needed a bigger home. We all loved our little 2-bedroom apartment, in which my wife and I had come accustomed to sleeping on the couch, but we were happy to leave it behind for the 2-story, 4-bedroom home that my wife and I had just purchased. Money was going to be a bit tight, taking on the increase in monthly bills, but my family is worth it. Within a month of delivering the news to the kids, we were all packed up and pulling away from what was really our first home on a typical summer morning. The place was only about a 20-minute drive from our apartment on the outskirts of the city and nestled into a family-friendly suburb. We spied the moving truck that had beat us. Excuse me. We had spied the moving truck that had beat us there as we pulled in. My wife took our excited children from the car and inside to explore their new home. I stuck around outside and helped the movers empty out the truck. Some of the stuff was pretty heavy, but I'd bought a dolly cart for this specific occasion. It seemed to take forever to empty that damn truck, but after about 2 hours, a few pinched fingers, and some back-breaking work later, the task had been accomplished. I sat down on the steps outside the front door, watching the movers back out of the driveway, basking in the bliss of being a new homeowner. My wife came through the door behind me and presented me with a glass of ice water, which really hit the spot at the time. I asked her about the kids' reaction to the house, and she told me that both of them had already picked out their rooms. Jenna, apparently, insisted on the bigger bedroom on the ground floor. Adam likely didn't argue, as the room was currently purple. I sat on the steps with my wife and sipped my drink. The heat was sweltering. It was then that I realized that the house behind me was silent. Not a sound to be heard. Anyone who has kids knows that this isn't usually a good sign. I asked Lauren, my wife, what the children were up to, and she told me that they saw some things sitting on the side of the road just around the corner of our little neighborhood as we were driving in. I asked about Jenna, being the paranoid parent that I am, and she assured me that Adam was with her and more than capable of watching her for a few moments. She added in the pleasant nature of the surrounding development and that Adam was nearly old enough to babysit. He was almost 9, and I had to give him a little bit of room to grow up. It was broad daylight, and the kids were a little more than a stone's throw away. Sure enough, while we were going over the logistics of it, the children rounded the corner with what looked to be so much stuff that it rivaled the size of Adam. As they got closer, however, I saw that it wasn't a bunch of stuff. It was only one thing. I also identified that neither was carrying the thing. The two clever children apparently commandeered my dolly cart and used it to bring home some sort of brightly colored box. "Do you see your children?" I playfully asked my wife. The two of us chuckled at the fact that our growing children had planned up something so ingenious behind our backs. Wheeling the cart up the driveway and towards the open garage. Excuse me. Take a sip. Wheeling the cart up the driveway and towards the open garage door, my wife and I stood up and walked over to intercept the two of them. Once I got closer to it, I recognized the object as a simple children's toy chest, decorated with brightly colored paint and various species of animals. A very typical scene for a toy chest, but the craftsmanship of it was impeccable. I mean, whoever painted this thing must have been, or is, one hell of an artist. Each and every animal seemed so absolutely lifelike. Both the wood, the paint, everything was in impeccable condition. I remember thinking why the hell its previous owners would relinquish it to the side of the road. Maybe their kids had grown up and moved away from home, I reasoned with myself. My wife encouraged me to allow the two of them to deliver it to Jenna's room by themselves, thereby facilitating a sense of autonomy. The two of us giggled to ourselves as we watched our growing children wrestle with the moderately sized, presumably empty, toy box. Once out of sight, we headed back towards our respective seats on the steps, grins beaming from ear to ear with pride. After a brief respite, we returned to the task of unpacking everything from the boxes they were contained within. The following day, Lauren and I awoke to our makeshift bed on the master bedroom floor. The house was still full of packed boxes that needed attending. The hours of unpacking only made a dent in the objective. My wife headed downstairs to prepare the morning brew. The coffee pot was something we made sure to unpack. As I was getting dressed, I could already hear the children playing blissfully outside in the driveway. While the coffee was brewing, I made my way out into the driveway to check on the kids. The easiest way to the driveway was through the garage, and upon opening the exterior garage door, I saw little Jenna chasing Adam around on a skateboard. Adam hadn't yet learned to use it properly, so he just sat upon it and used it to wheel himself, Jenna tagging close behind him. After I, excuse me, It was after I said good morning to the both of them that Jenna's attitude changed from happiness to that of resentment, demanding Adam let her have a turn. Adam was still denying her and antagonizing her by pointing his finger at his little sister while keeping just out of arm's reach. I hadn't remembered seeing the toy before, but we buy the kids so many things, it's hard to keep track. Still, I had to ask them whose it was before I could deliver the final verdict on who would get to use it. That's when Jenna told me that Adam had gotten it out of her toy chest. For a split second, I didn't understand what she was talking about until I remembered the object that she and Adam had procured the day prior. There was a skateboard in that. Excuse me, that was not supposed to be the little girl. My bad. There was a skateboard in that toy chest you brought home? I asked her. Jenna nodded yes, and Adam affirmed her by agreeing verbally, telling me they indeed got it from the brightly colored chest. Curious, I asked them what else was inside. The two of them shrugged, implying nothing of importance. With the information given, I concluded it was both of theirs, since they both brought home the chest. I also informed Adam that it was time for him to let his sister have a turn. Adam simply stood up and walked to the backyard with frustration. I walked after him to inquire about his disdain and asked Jenna to follow me so I could keep an eye on her. Leaving Jenna on the patio with her new toy, I followed Adam down towards the swing that came with the backyard. "Hey, buddy, what's wrong?" I called out to my son. He turned with a pathetically irritated face and said nothing. "What's wrong, kiddo? Why can't your sister have a turn?" I asked him. He blurted out, telling me it was because he was the one who had asked for it. I didn't quite understand. He never asked me for it, and I'm pretty sure he never asked his mother. "What do you mean? You mean you asked the neighbors who threw it out?" I prodded further. He told me that I wouldn't believe him anyway and gave me the cold shoulder. Something odd was going on, but I couldn't put my finger on it. My wife suddenly called out from behind me, telling me that the coffee was done and that she had poured me a cup. I turned around just in time to see Jenna give Lauren a hug on her. I turned around just in time to see Jenna give Lauren a hug on her leg. Afterward, Lauren took a few steps past Jenna. On her third step, her foot landed on the now backwards rolling skateboard traveling across the patio. Coffee cup flying through the air, my wife hit the stone with a thud. I ran to her side to see if she was all right. Fortunately, Lauren didn't sustain an injury warranting a trip to the hospital, but she had landed on her backside so hard that she had developed a grapefruit-sized bruise on her hip. I wouldn't have much help unpacking for a while. Lauren's movement was limited, helped only slightly with a heavy dose of ibuprofen. After retrieving a bag of frozen vegetables from the almost empty freezer and applying it to my wife's injury, I decided to inspect the toy chest in Jenna's room. I was curious to see if anything else had accompanied it with Oops. I was curious to see if anything else had accompanied it, contained within. First, checking the window and catching eye of the children to ensure their safety, I lurked into Jenna's bedroom. I noticed where the children had placed the chest the day before immediately, right at the foot of the bed that my wife had set up for our daughter, sat the brightly colored chest, adorned with all types of animals chasing each other around the perimeter. The floor creaked beneath me as I approached the room, the air still thick with that musty, vacant smell it had kept until we had moved in. Bending slightly and grasping the lid with my right hand, I opened the chest and peered inside. Contained within were nothing more than a deck of playing cards, 2 partially used pieces of colored chalk, and various marbles of various sizes and colors. I saw no reason to go I saw no reason for further inquiry, so I closed the lid, lowering it gently so as to not shut it with a bang. It wasn't like that before. I swear that when I had first walked over to it, there were all kinds of very lifelike animals chasing each other across its brightly painted panes. There was a lion, a zebra, an antelope, and a few more, and they were fucking chasing each other, frozen in the subsequent positions of when they were painted on. But now, when I closed the lid, they were smiling at me. Each one of those characters were no longer looking to the left and in a running position, frozen in decoration. Now, each was standing, as if painted standing, and each was turned and smiling outward with large, toothy grins, as if they were smiling directly at me. At first, I panicked with fear, my heart racing with adrenaline, sweat forming on my brow. Maybe I only thought they appeared running. It's not like I had intentionally examined them before. I was much more interested in the contents of the toy box. My mind was probably just playing tricks on me. My deep pondering of the painted animals on the toy chest was halted abruptly when Jenna could be heard coming in through the back door, wailing in sorrow. I walked out of her bedroom to greet her, finding her not more than a few feet from her first-floor bedroom. "What's wrong, honey?" I asked her tenderly. "Adam didn't want me to use the skateboard, so he threw it in the woods." She was able to get that out before bursting back into tears, grass and dirt stains on the front of her dress from playing outside. "Hold on, honey." I left Jenna sobbing next to her bedroom as I walked briskly toward the back door. "Adam!" I yelled out the door after opening it. A moment later, Adam came from around the corner of the house. "Where were you? You know you're not supposed to go out front by yourself," I asked him as he walked inside. He told me that he was playing by the garden on the side of the new home. "That doesn't matter. You know that's off limits too," I reminded him. "Why did your sister tell me you threw the skateboard into the woods?" I asked him. Adam just hung his head down lower until I could no longer see his face. "I don't know," he typically replied. "Listen, I want you to spend some time with her. Nicely, Adam. Play with her. She loves you." "But what is there we can do?" he asked. "Why don't you two play hide and seek? There's a ton of places to hide in this place. Just leave your mother be. She's in pain. Let her rest." Adam seemed to perk up a little. I think the idea of being allowed to freely explore the house appealed to him more than anything. I waited until the two of them were talking pleasantly, planning out their new game, before I proceeded into the kitchen to finally get a cup of coffee. I listened to the two of them talk back and forth as I retrieved a new mug from the cupboard and brought it to the brewing station next to the fridge. I was about done pouring the fluid into my now steaming cup when I heard Adam stop counting. I wonder if he's... Sorry, my bad. When I heard Adam counting. I wonder if he's actually going to go look for her or just leave her hiding while he explores, I thought to myself. I figured I should probably find out where she'd be hiding before Adam finished counting, so I could release her from her hidden location if Adam trailed off and ditched her. Adam was in the bathroom counting while Jenna was still looking for a spot, who I saw dart into her bedroom as I entered the living room from the kitchen. My insides dropped to my feet when I peered around her bedroom door just in time to see her crawl into that odd chest and close the lid over top of her. "Ready or not, here I come," exclaimed Adam. I wanted to rush over to her and get her out of there. There was something about that thing that seemed off and unnatural in some way that I couldn't put a finger on. Still, I convinced myself that I was just overreacting and wanted to allow her the chance to avoid her seeking brother, now scouring the living room. As soon as he left, I'd get her out of that box and into a different place. One I was a little more comfortable with. Adam didn't ask me where she was. He knew I wouldn't tell. A few more minutes passed, and Adam next searched the kitchen. I waited until my son was well out of sight before I quickly moved into Jenna's room and over to the toy chest, flinging the lid open. I saw her go in there. I stood there and watched. It wasn't like I was looking right at her, as I didn't want to give her away to her brother, but she was in my peripheral the whole time. I'm positive I would have seen the lid open and her climb from it. A deck of cards, 2 partially used pieces of colored chalk, and several marbles of various sizes and colors. There was nothing else inside. No Jenna. Not even a trace of her. I began calling her name. I didn't care about her game of hide-and-seek anymore. "Jenna! Come here!" I yelled. Where was she? Why won't she answer? "Jenna, come on, Pumpkin, it's Dad. This isn't a game. Come here!" I yelled out. I stood in silence to hear some kind of scuffling from somewhere in the room. Nothing. Those fucking animals were still all smiling at me. I wanted to kick that fucking thing in half. My heart raced with anticipation when I heard movement outside the door. "Jenna?" I called. But it was Adam who turned the corner. "What's going on?" he asked me. "I can't find your sister. I thought she was hiding in that chest. I saw her go in there, but she's not in there and I can't find her." To confirm my assertions for himself, Adam walked over to the chest and opened the lid to see for himself. My eyes grew wide in terror as he pulled the object from the colorful box. It couldn't be. A deck of cards, 2 partially used pieces of colored chalk, and several marbles of various sizes and colors. That's it. Sorry, hold on. That's it. There was nothing else. I fucking swear it. As impossible as it was, Adam pulled a Jenna-sized doll from the toy chest. Cloth flesh, long, brown, curly locks, and 2 huge, bright blue button eyes. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't accept it. But it was wearing her dress. Her exact same dress. The dirt stains from playing outside still apparent on the front. "Go to your room," I told Adam. Adam went crying to his room. He knew something had happened to Jenna. I filed a missing child report with the police. I didn't know what else to do. My wife would never believe me if I told her the truth. I told the police she had disappeared from the front yard when I wasn't looking. Adam actually backed up my story. He somehow knew I needed him to. My wife resents me still from what she thinks was negligence. I'd love to get rid of that cursed toy chest, adorned with its smiling animals, if Lauren would let me. She won't let anyone even go in her room anymore. I still do, though, from time to time when she's not around. A deck of cards, 2 partially used pieces of colored chalk, and several marbles of various sizes and colors. That's all that's ever contained within the chest when I open the lid. But I always hope for a different result, never getting one. The only thing my wife wants to get rid of from Jenna's room is the doll that looks eerily like our supposedly missing daughter. How do I explain to her that we can't? I can't. It's all I have left. I've resorted to hiding her in the closet for now, assuring my wife that I disposed of the doll. I don't think I could ever bring myself to get rid of it, especially when I see it leak sorrowful tears from its big, blue button eyes. And that is Button Eyes, based on SCP-190. Sorry about the mess ups and all the stuff going on, but honestly, for a story of that length, I'm pretty proud of myself. That wasn't too bad. I hope everybody enjoyed the story. Definitely going to hang out for a few minutes if you guys want to go ahead, post questions or whatever. ISB, very, very happy that you enjoyed it, my friend. Thank you. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to know that somebody enjoys something that I've written. Thank you very, very much, guys. Boggs, Jill, thank you very much for showing up. Jill, I'm going to be leaving this live stream up for later listen, and I'm going to be reworking the narration too and re-uploading it repurposed with music and sound effects and stuff like that. So the story will be up for a listen if you did happen to tune in a bit late. Definitely not forgetting about you guys. So really, really glad you guys liked the story. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, anything you want to talk about, by all means, go ahead and punch it in. I'm going to hit my vape. I'm going to sip my energy drink here for a second. But yeah, it was I had fun. That was good. That worked out well. Thank you very, very much, Princess, and awesome. Very glad that you liked it, Kim. Very, very glad that you liked it. Of course. Awesome. Yeah, it'll be a cool listen for at work time. Always like helping people make their work day, work night, whatever their schedule go by just a little bit faster. That's actually how I used to listen to creepypastas. I would, and other horror stories, audio books. I'd download them to my phone and I'd listen to them while I work construction. So, and really helped helped everything go by a lot quicker. A drunk stream? Yeah, no, I don't think I will ever do that, Boggs. I've heard of people doing that, and I've also heard of people saying that it is a really bad idea. And I concur with that. That is a very bad idea. I'm gonna go turn on my air conditioner real quick, but I ain't going far. So I'll be back in like, I don't know, quicker than 2 jiggles of a jackrabbit's ass. That's a ICP reference, by the way. Sweet. Now I just gotta find out where I put my hat. Aha! There it is. Whew. Drunk streaming? No, I cannot. No drunk streaming. I've done other kinds of streaming before, but not drunk streaming. Yeah, but the stories at night or while you're working, helping, yeah, they very much do. Yeah, I'm not into all of their stuff, but I'd say at least 5 of the 6 Joker cards I absolutely love. I've been to at least one concert, so yeah, I'm a juggalo for sure. Love the clowns, man. I'm down with the clowns. I just figured if you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna quote somebody, you gotta at least say who it's from. I do say that all the time, but I did get it from them, so gotta be ready quicker than 2 jiggles of a jackrabbit's ass. Oh, well, guys, again, really, really glad you liked the story. I'm gonna try and keep this going for, I don't know, another 5-10 minutes at least. So I'm glad I made you laugh. Laughter is it's nature's medicine, man. Laughter heals all. It's always good to scare people, but if you can make somebody laugh, that's just awesome. Twice to boot. Well, I definitely messed up enough in that story to cause at least 1 or 2 chuckles. So that works. Kind of been watching Cobra Kai all day since I got home from work. Um, Worked a lot on the 13 days of Halloween today. I've been working on the third Dreamscape series. I've started writing that earlier this week. I've been working on that every single day. Almost done with Dreamscape 3-1. If you know how the series goes, you know what that means. It's like Mario levels, 3-1, 3-2. So, yeah, that's coming along nicely. Been editing my new book, and I've been that's just about ready to go now. We're good to go there. So yeah, I mean things are coming along nicely. I'm really glad that everybody was here to stop in for this stream. Um, Again, I'd like to keep the stream going for a few more minutes, but I am running out of steam. There is going to be the 13 days of Halloween. I think I went ahead and I told you guys that at the beginning of the stream. I just want to go ahead and reiterate the 13 days of Halloween is going to be a thing this year. So I know back on my old channel, that was something that everybody kind of looked forward to. I just want to make sure that I was able to bring it back. So that last year didn't happen. This year I'm making it happen. Like literally, I'm writing a bunch of stories. I'm going crazy, and I'm going to make it happen. So. Which channel? I see you. You're on this channel, ISB. Yeah, but since I've been home, it's been Cobra Kai, stuff like that. I had to go through and edit Button Eyes so I could kind of read through it as smoothly as my twisty tongue would allow me to. Oh, my channel? What about it? SP, what happened? I joined the channel. Yours. I'm just not understanding the question. Would be very happy to answer it. I don't understand what it is you are asking. So if you could maybe just try it in a different way, I'll be very happy to answer the question. As far as joining the channel, like I don't know what you mean. Like, do you mean like by writing for my channel? Do you write? I have a join button? I did not know I had a join button. I don't know. Try joining me. We'll see what happens. Sounds like a plan. Be part of the crew. I did not know I had a join button. Thank you for letting me know. That is either a new feature that YouTube has put out and I did not know anything about, or it is an old feature that I have never paid attention to or known anything about. Because as I am computer literate, I am not necessarily like a computer expert or anything like that. Like, I don't know what, about a month ago, Creepy Clown Girl had to teach me how to set up a Discord. Like, that's how behind the times I am. A month ago, somebody had to teach me how to set up a Discord. So if I have a join button, like, I don't know. I'd like to go ahead on maybe one of my other, like my side channel, and stop in on this channel and click join and see what happens. That'd be cool. I don't know. Maybe there's like a website or something associated with the YouTube channel. I can post like merch links and book links and stuff. That'd be awesome. I should actually do that at some point. I'll make like a Wix website or something like that. I don't see a join button. But then again, I am not on my YouTube on YouTube in my browser per se. Right now I'm actually in Studio. So in Studio, I do not see a join button. Oh, and Kim is saying she does not see a join button either. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is, man. Somebody's joining the channel. So, sounds great to me. Patreon, like Patreon, but it's channel subscription. Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I don't do Patreon. Everybody keeps asking me if I have one, but I don't do it. I went to a family reunion a couple weeks ago, and I got asked, "Oh, you have a blade that people can support you and donate?" I'm like, no. If you guys want to donate, just buy books or a T-shirt or something like that. That works. Totally fine. Maybe I should start a Patreon, but I don't want to ask for money. This isn't really about making money. Like the books, yeah, I guess I'm making a little bit, but it's more about just publishing the books. Like that's why the Kindles are so cheap. I'm not really worried about getting rich. So no Patreon. You don't got to join for any special features. You'll get all the special features for free from me. But yeah. All right. So I think it's been about 45 minutes now. We're getting pretty close to that hour mark. So I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and just end the stream. Go ahead, because I am going to go see Jaws at the drive-in. Oh, yeah. That's right, baby. The original Jaws is playing at the drive-in. So yeah, gonna be a good time. I really appreciate you guys stopping. Really appreciate you guys understanding about me going to the drive-in tonight and allowing me to end the stream a little bit earlier and start it earlier. I said 9:30 for the past month, and then the day of, oh, by the way, it's 8:30. So really happy you guys. I know the people that came today, tonight. The guys sitting here right now, I know you guys rearranged your schedules a little bit to come in and stop in a little bit earlier on short notice. I cannot thank you enough. Like that's huge. Like that people would do that for little old me. Like that's amazing. So I cannot tell you how much I love you guys. I really can't. Thank you so much for stopping in for the stream. Really glad you guys enjoyed the story, and keep an eye out for the remix. And I will see you tomorrow night at the premiere, The Honeydew List, featuring Spirit Voices. Love you guys to death. Have a happy Friday. Thanks a ton for stopping in. Bye-bye.